Okay.
Okay, students, we're back. This is my sister, so we're doing a particular cut on her. And what clients will do, they'll come in and they'll say, I want this. Now, do you want to show the picture of what you want? We can't see it. There it is. Okay, now you want to show it to the camera? So that's the cut that she wants. So by you knowing where you're at, now see, we don't see the back. So this is where we would talk to her and say, you know, how short do you want the back? And then, you know, my sister would probably say, well, do it like the picture. Clients are going to do that. So whether they're relatives or not, that's why I said, don't charge your family. They're going to talk about you anyways.
Oh.
So let them say what they're going to say. Because it's my sister, even though this is a pandemic, we're not wearing masks today. I am going to be doing razor work on this, quite a bit of razor work, so you can see the difference. Again, you saw me do the razor cut on the long hair. Now you're going to see me do a razor cut on very short hair. Strokes are the same. Results are going to be the same for what you want. I will be doing some sculpture cutting on this. So I may still use the texture shear for volume. So this is what she wants, and this is what we're going to give her. You can see that the bang is really choppy there on the phone. So we know that she doesn't want a hard line bang, in other words. She wants it choppy. But yet the hair in the back is shorter. So on one thing that she did request, she did want a little bit of volume in there. So we're gonna be putting that in there. All right, so how we're going to start, you see that I've separated her from along the parietal line, pretty much. Slightly, just ever so slightly into the, actually I'm not putting her in the lower ridge at all. I'm taking it up, just strictly the parietal line. So I'm going to take this up so that she's resting on the parietal line, all right? And all of this hair is going to be cut a certain way. And once we get to the area above the occipital into the parietal line, you're going to see a bit of a variable. So what we're going to do now is we're going to take it only up to the nape line. We're going to follow that nape line first. And then we're going to cut vertically, but we want it to come down and cup under just a bit so that it's light. But to keep the lightness, again, and like I said, I'm not holding it like you guys, but I will. Forgive me, I haven't done my nails. But anyways, normally this is how I would hold my blade, but because I'm teaching you, yes, I will hold it with this heavy hand like I've told you before. So like I said, I'm going to follow, and I'm just going to pick this up. This is her nape line, all right? I'm going to cut it at a slight angle, following that. Comb it in. And you're almost going to see a hard line beginning to happen there within the cut. But do you see it? Okay, now because we cut it up on top, shorter moves longer still, but it's a little choppier. If I'd have cut it on the bottom, it would draw it in a little more. I'm going to do that on the other side for you to see the difference, then I'll clean it up. So I'll do it just a little longer. Again, now see, it's a little more difficult because I want to stay within the nape line. I don't want to go into the occipital yet. And just take it, shift your head down. You got to get your clients to work with you if they want certain cuts. Now, do you see that? It just lays right down, cups under and lays down. This, we have some broken lines in there. That's the variable. That's the difference. Does it make a lot of difference? Do you see the volume we have here? A little more volume. Do you see? This just lays down. There is no volume. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to go to the top and just follow again the nape line. Now we've created a little bit of volume. Is that amazing? So those are factors when you're razor cutting. And I'm just taking it across. And get this corner here. Taking it across. I want to make sure you see it. Cameraman, let me know if you can't see what I'm doing. Now this is what I want you to get out of this. Do you see that even though it's with a razor, we still have a bit of a weight line right there. So I'm going to take this now And it's called just slicing it horizontally to get it to fit. But I don't want to slice it horizontally all the way up here. What I'm doing is I'm slightly texturizing. See it? The comb, and then it cuts here. Texturizes, cuts on the bottom. I'll do it again for you. Texturize, texturize, cut. Okay? Texturize, texturize, cut. What this does is it makes the hair kind of cup under a little bit. But do you see those little flippies? All right, so what does that tell us when it flips out? Let's just carve it in. There you go. Carve it in. And just keep doing that. Just kind of, and you have to mind your line. Get a straight line in there. And again, she keeps putting her head up. See what I'm saying? It's like your family is no different than clients. Now, when you get ready to come into that perimeter line here, you want to hold your comb and just gently stroke. Be very careful. Gently stroke into it. And see the line it's creating. All right? I'm going to come over here. Now, do you see where she grows to the center? So I'm going to come over here. Gently create that line coming across. So you can definitely create a straight line with the razor. Now I'm going to have her come up at an angle here so I can bring this around, again holding it with a heavy hand. Holding it right there with a heavy hand. And she's got a little bit of a corner on this side. See that corner? And I want to see where it's not on the other side. See where she's slightly, ever so slightly softened and rounded there. So, and with your family, you can twist them and turn them any way you want. They're family. See that? All right, now that's softened that quite a bit. All right, so what I'm going to do now, we want this above the ears. So I'm going to take it now, and I'm going to start at the bottom and come up. And do you see where I'm coming out? I'm not going vertically straight up. I'm coming out on it, shorter at the perimeter line, longer as we travel up. I want that off. Okay, now, that was a vertical line. Now I'm going to do a diagonal line. I'm on the flat part of the head. Here's her sideburn, shorter, crawl up to longer. Okay, shorter, crawl up to longer. And look at how soft that is. Now I want to get rid of this little corner here. Just clean it up. Come into the area just above the ear. And I'm going to clean that up. Okay, so we've taken care of only the flat part of the head. We've taken care of only the nape. The occipital area is still there. All right? So I'm going to do this side now. Vertical line first. Close. And you've got to know, I mean, I know about the distance that I need to go out. Little things like that that you learn with experience. And as I travel out, shorter at the perimeter line. Diagonal, I meant to go diagonal there, so I'll clean that up. Still goes back. And diagonal here. Your parts and so on make such a difference. All right, I'm going to take this. I hope you can see it with my arm up. Place it, come out. And remember, what happens on one side of the head? Does anybody remember? I've talked about it before. I've mentioned it before. You've got one side of the head that does what? I'm going to close my razor so I can show you what it does. Look at that. See how nice it lays when I bring it forward? Look at that choppiness when I pull it back. Now, see how nice this lays when I comb it back? And look at the choppiness when I bring it forward. Those are the things that are going to happen with any head form. Keep in mind that the shorter hair it shows everything that you do. Longer hair, you're going to hide some stuff. Short hair, you cannot. This is where you have to tell your client, okay, you need to understand, ma'am, that this side grows forward, as you can see, ma'am, in front of the mirror there, if I take it back, and this side wants to do its own thing as well. So you're going to get a bit of a variable, and that's where product comes in. So now what I'm going to do, I'm going to take that hair at the nape, that's going to be my guide, but I'm still going to travel out. I'm going to cut it diagonally in this form. I'm going to take vertical partings, and see my guide right there? Go underneath, come up. Shorter here, occipital line extends out, longer at the perimeter. Come out longer. All right, and I'm going to shift your head forward again. Side to center, side to center. And I have a corner. Do you see that perfect little corner there? I want it off. Now, can you see that I'm going this way, that way, this way? With shorter hair, you will. With shorter hair, you'll see it. Okay, now see that little bit of a hard line right there that created. All right, watch what happens when I do some sculpture cutting in here. You can see that line. All right, sculpture cutting gives it a slight texturizing, and like I said, pretend that you're moving whipped cream. Now that line is pretty much gone. So that's what that's going to do with the razor. You understanding the concept of razor cutting. It's not taught. When I went to beauty school, we were not allowed to pick up a shear. Everything was done with the razor. Everything, bangs, everything. I did not start shear cutting until I got out into a salon. So knowing that, I mean, I'm grateful for it now. I've had some barber friends of mine that have shown me the sculpture cutting, some barbering techniques. There was an organization, Roffler. I don't know if you remember them, but they taught me how to do the sculpture cutting, the razor over comb like that. And I appreciate that. We were actually at one time as hairdressers allowed to be in the Olympics. And that's what won, was a sculpture cut. Now, I don't know if it's done anymore or not, but I can kind of see a little corner here that's driving me nuts. So I'm going to clean that up. There it is. This is what's causing the problem. And there it goes. It took care of it. So yeah, it's the area of knowing how to use a razor becomes extreme. So again, I'm over on this side, bringing it over. And you're thinking, okay, she's going in the same direction. Yes, I am. What direction does this grow? It grows forward. So I wanted to go back. That's why. This side grows back. We know that. That's not going to be a problem. If it's a problem, I'm going to show you what to do. Again, you can see we're coming straight up on it. So you see what I just did. I went over on the other side. Now, this is coming in this direction. That's coming in that direction. And it is even. Are you going to have little lines, little squagglers like those right there? Yeah, you are. Feel it out. There it is. But always look at your razor cut. Now you see that indentation there. That's part of her cowlick. And I want this to come up a bit. So you see that haircut coming in. And when she's finished, it's going to be really, really choppy. What I'm going to do, because I want some volume, I'm going to take her front to back. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to start peeling. And the shorter side is going to be on the inside. Now watch what I do. I place my blade right there by the hair. It's not on my finger. Captures the hair, takes it off. Captures the hair, takes it off. And this is what's going to create a slight volumizing for her. And you can see the choppiness already coming in. And look at the volume. It's doing it by itself because I'm going front to back. Now there's my guide. Now this time, you saw I was holding it. This is uniform layered on top, by the way. So I was holding it straight out from the parietal line. Now I'm holding it straight out from what? What's that area called? The upper what? The upper ridge. And you can see that choppy volume coming in now. We're going to have a little bit of a problem with the cowlick? Yeah, we might. So we're going to fix that in just a minute. So now I'm straight up at the center what? Right by the vertex, crawling up into what? The center apex, and traveling forward with it. So she gets a really choppy, now the last time we did this cut on her, we went ahead and did it with a shear. But I wanted to show you guys, look at how it stands up by itself. And she's got some nice choppiness to go with it. Now I want to show you what happens, and I'm going to do it a little bit longer when I do it side to side. It fell down, didn't it? You see what I'm saying? When you go front to back, I'm going to do it a little bit longer. This goes right down. Okay? Now let's do it the way I was showing you on the other side. Off the parietal line. Go up into the center apex, and it's standing up. There you go. And look at that. It'll start standing up now, creating that nice choppy look for her that she's asking for. Now I'm going to come over here again to the parietal line. I see my guide right there next to it. Travel up to the upper ridge. And just all I'm doing now is, look at that stand up by itself. So she's going to get that nice choppy look that she's looking for, and you can already see it in there. Right at the center apex, there's my guide. Not much to cut. Clean it up a little bit. Now, what we want on her bangs, what I'm going to do again is I'm going to pie shape it to the parietal line this time. Pie shaping it out to the parietal line. I see one little corner there that I want off. I see another corner here. And see, now what I'm doing is I'm designing the cut for her. I'm doing the little finer points. I'm watching how it's laying, and I'm doing the finer points in it so that it lays a little bit better. All right, so I'm going to bring this forward, and all I'm going to do is just peel it right there, taking it right to the center and peel it. Now, look at that choppiness that she's got. Exactly what she was asking for, but we have a little bit of volume into it. Now I want to show you what happens when I blow dry this. Do you like it? Mm-hmm. It looks good,
I
huh?
always get compliments on what you do.
Well, you're sweet.
Yeah.
She's lying. She'd be lying. She'd be lying.
I'm serious. They always tell me that my hair looks really nice.
Okay, so before we do anything else, now we're just I'm gonna show you again. Minimal work. How I wish more schools would start their students on razor cutting. Give them a mannequin, let them chop them up to learn it, instead of chopping them up and still not learning it. So, I mean, my preference is learn how to razor cut as well. It is not just a barbering technique. It's been around forever. I've been doing hair for 52 years, and that's almost forever. All right? So I'm just gonna blow dry it. I'm not doing anything. Remember, none of this, unless you want carpal tunnel, use your whole arm. Now, I'm not doing anything other than just getting rid of the moisture. And you can see that she's got the haircut. You can see that the haircut, that picture that she had, is right there. How much time do I have, cameraman?
8 minutes.
8 minutes? Oh, we got plenty of time. So you can see. Now let's say that she wants a little bit of volume right here. Let's say she wants it to go back. Now see how it's coming forward? And that you already know how to do that. I don't have to show you again. But I'm doing this with a comb. Watch this. Heat that up. Let's say she doesn't want to wear it forward. Let it cool. There you go. Now it's going back for her. And then you could even start at the vertex. Now I am going to texturize around her cowlick because we don't want that to split in the back. So you don't need to do anything else other than heat it up. Do not point the blow dryer onto the scalp. Always off to the side. You want to know how hot it is? Put it on your arm and hold it there for a while and see what happens. That's fighting us, isn't it? It doesn't want to, it says, I don't want to go back. I don't want to. But she likes the bangs, so we're going to leave it alone because she's not going to be wearing it back. So that's all I'm doing, basically, but I do want to take care of the cowlick that we're going to find in the back. And this is what I want you to see on the cut itself. I want you to see that it's pretty even with a razor. Now, do we have these little scragglers? Yeah, you will. You'll have a few. But the thing about a razor is it makes it fit. She can take it to the center. Now, I want to take care of her little cowlick here, and I'm going to do that with what? The texture shear. Let me grab my texture shear over here. Get my comb. And what we want, we don't want it to split. So we're just going to take it right here. Comb faces the direction that we want it to go. 1, 2. There you go. Look at that, cover that up. Like right now, man, right there. 1, 2. There you go. Now it rounds it out real nice. Okay, so let's say that we want this. This side we know grows forward, right? I want this to go back. I want it to go back naturally. So this is where shear over comb with the texture shear. What direction am I taking it? I'm taking it back. There you go. Look at that. Just fly back by itself. She can now finger comb it, and even though this grows forward, she can finger comb it to get it to go back. What about this here? Do we want that to go back? That's right at the upper ridge. There you go. All the way up. And look at that nice line that we're getting right there. It's a nice, clean, just feathered back line that looks really, really good. Now I want to take care of this. She's got a little cowlick right here. That I want them going in this direction. Okay, a little more volume right here at the center. And see, it'll do it for you. Having your tools and knowing how to use them are two different things. Now, do you see this coming down here? I'm looking at it and I'm thinking, oh, come on. Come on, now you're supposed to go back. All right, you're going back. There you go. So what you can do with the texture shear and this little choppiness that she got. Now, I'm going to use a little bit of gel just to show you. Where's my gel? I had it. Do you see a blue bottle anywhere with gel? Oh, here it is. I found it. And you don't need much. This is like less than a teaspoon. All right, less than a teaspoon of gel. Work it into your hands. And remember, what does she like about that? She liked the choppy look. So we're going to give her that nice choppy look that she liked. And she can just carry this and go with it anywhere. And there's a youthful look about it. There's a happy look about it. That's what's nice with this particular cut. I'm going to turn her around for you to see it. Now see those nice little choppy lines with the razor that you can do. And how I wish, again, can't say it enough, that schools would teach more about razor cutting as opposed to shear cutting. There's so many whys in hair cutting. But if you don't know where you're at, remember we did something on the flat part of the head and the nape, and then we did something different. How many of you diagrammed this as I was doing it? Pause it, write it down, write down the directions. How did you see me hold my razor? I showed you guys that razor I bought at the Dollar Tree that I feel safe with you students using it right now because the razors that you were assigned, I just feel they're just a little bit too, I have to watch you do it. Because they've got the comb, the blade is a 1/2 inch. I don't want you messing with that. So that's one thing I like about my Tondeo. The blade is real low into it. I don't have one in front of me right now, but I showed it to you. It's just one of those little razors that people use to shave their eyebrows. And again, I said, please don't do that. It's the thinnest part of your body. If they sneeze, if they hiccup, you've just done surgery. You already know the angle that you have to hold a blade. And you have it at that perfect angle to cut. So please be very, very, very careful if you're going to do that. But anyways, like I said, it worked for the cut that we did on that mannequin. This one here. You remember that? And it's still choppy, still all there. And you can see every little line, but they're nice points. That's what another thing I like about razor work. The points in it just come out really, really good. So there, she got the cut that she wanted, and it looks really good on her. Okay, students, thank you so much. Thank you for watching this. And those of you that are not in beauty school, you're lucky. Take care. God bless.